let's dive into what I learned this week. So, number one, keep the main thing the main thing. This is a quote originally attributed to Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I think I originally heard LeBron talking about this related to the heat culture. And it's just so true. What is the core thing? What is the actual value you provide? And make sure you keep the main thing the main thing. We like new things. We like to work on different projects. It takes discipline to focus on what really matters, to focus on the fundamentals. So always keep the main thing the main thing. The power of great questions is also something that I was reminded of this week. I was reflecting on parts of the business that I could improve. I was, reflecting on my process about how I approach my profession and my routine and my habits. And I actually used ChatGPT to lay out a bunch of different questions in order to help me analyze my life and kind of break down ways that I could approach my game better. And, this is something that I've always loved journaling and reflection. And I think that time spent reflecting and thinking is super valuable. And so a great way to do that can be to lay out some questions and then focus on answering those questions, and the insights will arise from great questions. And on top of that, I think a takeaway that's pretty apparent within that is to make sure that you spend time reflecting and studying to improve yourself and to improve your process. This is a never ending game of life, and you should make sure that you go to bed smarter every single night. Then I would say this week also, I was focused on making sure that I don't get caught up too much in the stress of building a business. So one thing as a founder is that there's infinite reasons to be stressed out, right? There's always going to be problems. There's always going to be actions that need to be taken. And you have to be very good about separating yourself from that and taking those challenges as learning opportunities, getting better, but enjoying yourself and enjoying life and not trying to not let it affect you. I like to try to think that I could be like an invincible, monk or something. And I don't achieve it, but that's the goal, to where I can't be impacted by the stresses of life or challenges of building a business. But yeah, just make sure you're doing things you love, you're doing things with people you love, and that you're enjoying the process. Because if this is your dream, then you better be living your dream. Because if you're not living your dream, what are you really doing? You got one life, so get out there and live it. Another thing I learned this week is just, again, the power of great affiliates and positioning yourself in the marketplace. So, when your customers are looking for you, where do they look online? Where can you position yourself? We've had tremendous success with positioning ourselves with the right affiliates. Go through your customer journey and make sure you're in the right places. That's been a big lesson for me this week on the business side of things. Then finally, I would say the importance of resilience. This kind of relates to what I talked about earlier with that business can always be stressful and there's always something to be worried about. But, there was a Steve Jobs quote, and he said, "I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance." And this makes it crystal clear. You know, Building a business is going to be brutal. It's going to suck at times, and you have to be able to persevere. You have to have the endurance to suffer through that gracefully. So resilience and making sure that you cultivate that and have the mindset practices, the lifestyle, and the support in order to persevere. Yeah, so that would kind of summarize the main things I learned this week. And yeah, time to get back to building and learn some more. So have a good week, everyone. Cheers.